This video will contain spoilers up to the end of Book 7, This Inevitable Ruin. Katia Grim's story is unique in the series that it seems to have come to an end, at least a major phase of it. But she isn't dead. Before her exit from the narrative, which I'll get to, she has an incredible arc. In Carl's Doomsday scenario, Hekla asks Carl and Donut to take Katia into their party and train her up. She's 10 levels behind, barely able to hold a cohesive shape with her doppelganger race, and she's completely terrified. Of everything. She's mousy and insecure. Someone who would apologize just for being present. A polar opposite to Carl and Donut. All of this is definitely not the expected origin of someone who ends up a battle-hardened tank and one of the most selfless and bravest crawlers in the dungeon. Katia's first real turning point isn't something she set out to do. It's something that happens to her. Hekla, her original party leader and head of Brynhild's daughters, was a woman that Katia respects and trusts. Both of those concepts only go one way. When it comes out that Hekla isn't just disrespecting Katia, but actively using her as bait, things blow up. Katia uses an ability called Rush. This ability is part of her monster truck driver class. It turns her into a fast-moving battering ram. The move is unpredictable, it's tough to control, and leaves Katia feeling winded after using it. Katia aims at a former friend, Eva, but accidentally kills Hekla instead. Though the kill is justifiable, keeping it an accident means a lot for Katia's story. A timid character finding their voice and getting some revenge is a tried and true story method, but we've seen it. Dungeon Crawler Carl isn't a series that plays it safe. A timid character accidentally killing someone and having to live with it is a much harder emotional journey and more realistic. There are more complications associated with Katia advancing greatly in levels, claiming a massive bounty by killing a top crawler, and having to bear the mark of a player-killer skull. It can be seen as a great accomplishment or a great tragedy. Katia didn't become this insecure when the dungeon appeared on Earth. Before Earth was flattened and she was forced to be a crawler, she already had more trials, tests, and hardships than most people go through. She had a battle with an aggressive brain cancer, was a drug addict, and earned 10 hard years of sobriety. She was engaged, and the couple were even working through the grueling process of adopting a sick child called Annie. Given Katia's own medical history, she wanted so badly to care for this little girl. When the adoption was almost complete, Katia learned that her fiancé was cheating on her. To make it even more gross, he was a professor and was cheating with a student. Katia informed the university, so he retaliated by exposing her past and tanking the adoption. Annie dies alone in the hospital. Katia is unable to get over it. The stress of the dungeon has Katia seeking comfort in drugs again, the most relevant being Blitz Sticks and Glory Bound. She starts with Blitz Sticks that allow her to visualize a more ideal fantasy life, and the more dangerous Glory Bound takes things further. Her tragic past is revealed with a best day and worst day comparison, both centered on Annie, and Katia missing her shot at motherhood. This kind of tragic past is food for the dungeon. It feeds on the crawlers, made all the more delicious for the whole system by their insecurities, trauma, and tethers to regrets from their past. If you want to keep deep diving into this best of all lit RPGs, like the video and subscribe to the channel for a whole lot more. I'm just getting started. Of course, Carl and Donut know none of this when they first meet the meek Katia, but they just see a girl who needs help, so they help her. We see everyone go through transformations in the dungeon, having to dig deep and find different versions of themselves to take what the dungeon throws at them or crumble. Katia has a few of these, but one of the first is a business decision. The Kuatin from Borant, Zeb, works PR for Carl and Donut, so when Katia joins the team, she extends her services. This earliest of all versions of Katia, the audience finds very boring. A boring crawler means low views, which means less or no sponsors. This low popularity could even negatively affect Carl and Donut as well. Zev is the spark saying that she needs to change, and Donut runs with it, transforming Katia into a purple mohawk leather-clad badass. Well, at least the beginnings of one, the appearance of one. She decides to try and lean into the transformation and start building some confidence. This is all quintessential Dungeon Crawler Carl. The dungeon taking a complex woman with a traumatic past and turning it into a ratings problem. It's Donut being hilarious and over the top, but making real changes and connections with a friend. The humor, heart, and sanity commentary angle is pitch perfect. As the story progresses, Donut and Carl become the absolute closest people in Katia's life, and they don't know how literal her transformation becomes. As I said earlier, her class is doppelganger. Her body is basically clay that she can reshape at will. She can also take on more mass, serious amounts of mass. Carl discovers how far this can go and even helps her with some customized gear, which tows right up to the barrier of what the dungeon inventory system is capable of. Just as she is damaged on the inside and hit it for most of the crawl, she uses her ability to hide the physical toll the ordeal has taken on her. Toward the end of this inevitable ruin, Katia consumes an orchid that reverts her back to her non-dungeon enhanced self. The damage the dungeon has caused to her stays. She's missing her right arm starting at the shoulder, her left leg, and her right leg below the knees. She's also missing an ear and parts of some fingers. Her friends are shocked. Part of them had to know that she's been taking a beating in the dungeon, but they all have been. Knowing in the abstract and seeing are two different things. We, as the audience, get a reality check with the reveal as well. There could not be a more straightforward metaphor. A woman who spent her life on Earth before the dungeon, holding herself together but ripped apart on the inside, is now literally holding her body together and is literally ripped apart. No one around her knows the truth until she decides to show them. Fate ties Katia and Donut's face together and comes to a head during faction wars. Very early on in the crawl, Donut puts on a tiara, the enchanted crown of the Sepsis Whore. This ties her to the Blood Sultanate faction in that she is unable to leave the 9th floor without resolving the curse. On the 6th floor, Katia kills her former friend and rival, Eva Sigrid. As Eva is dying, she forces the same crown onto Katia's head, making her part of the curse as well. Removing the crown does not reverse the curse, and now the belief is that either Donut or Katia must also die in order for the other to proceed. This creates a lot of tension in the group of allied crawlers and friends. Carl, being Carl, works with Katia on a workaround where she and Donut can both survive. It's another daring plan with a lot of moving pieces that needs to work out exactly right and on paper looks like it never could. First, the actual members of the Blood Sultanate need to be dealt with. Carl, Prepotente, Katia, and Samantha assault the Naga stronghold in Club Vanquisher. Prepotente wipes out the majority of the troops in a rage. Vinyata, the leader of the Naga, summons the god Kepri. Another god, Helik, intervenes and banishes Kepri. It's actually a slugolette, a dungeon-born slug creature called Candy, with a K, that strikes the final blow against Vinyata. With the actual Blood Sultanate handled, it's down to Donut and Katia. Katia consumes the Orchid of Alethea's Grace, which summons the goddess Alethea. Alethea transforms Katia back to a normal human, revealing the injuries we previously discussed. Her boyfriend in the dungeon, Bautista, has made cybernetic limbs to compensate. Alethea also grants Katia the pregnancy boon. She chooses the lovable idiot Louis to be the father of her child. Bautista is not an option since he's no longer human. The dungeon does not allow pregnant women or children, so Katia is transported to the Kinder facility on Earth's surface where the children are being held. This resolves the curse of the Sepsis Whore and means that neither her or Donut needs to die. This is a surprisingly moving part of the story that reserves its tender moments for when they really matter. Katia came into the dungeon with nothing but baggage and regret. She couldn't get pregnant and lost out on adopting a little girl. Now she escapes this living hell and will be with Earth's children while being pregnant. No, not everything is perfect for her. The surface of the Earth is a mess, but let's take the small wins as they come. Also, to address the elephant in the room, Lucia Mar has a lot going on with her, and it looks like something got scrambled where there are many children inhabiting one body, or something similarly as strange that shouldn't be allowed. That will be addressed in a future video, even though Dinneman hasn't let all of those details out on this one. Check out this video next for more on Faction Wars. See you on the next floor.